What's up, everyone? It's Monday again, which means it's time to check in on the next wave of Philadelphia Flyers prospects, the one grinding it out in the NCAA and even junior leagues across North America. And let me tell you, this past weekend was one of the most exciting yet. Flyers NCAA prospects weren't just playing well, they were beating the best. From Michigan State taking down the number one ranked team in the nation, to a statement weekend from Cole Knuble at Notre Dame, to junior kids up north continuing to carve out serious potential. The future looks as bright as it's looked in years. We're going to start in East Lansing, the showstopper, Porter Martone, so keep it here. Porter Martone, remember the name because Flyers fans are going to be hearing it a lot. The kid scored his first collegiate goal Saturday night as number 3 Michigan State took down number 1 Boston University in overtime. He didn't stop there. He added an assist, driving offense against a powerhouse team stacked with NHL talent. What stood out most wasn't just the numbers. It was how ready he looks. The pace of play didn't faze Martone. The pressure didn't rattle him. Martone was calm, controlled, and confident in both games. He's got that heavy, low stance that lets him protect the puck through traffic. He doesn't waste motion. Every stride looks calculated and efficient. The Flyers drafted him because of that blend of power and poise, and through 4 games, he's already sitting at 5 points. Against older players, stronger players, he's holding his own and then some. You can see NHL tools already forming, the frame, the hands, and the vision. And what makes it all even better, he's not doing it alone. His teammate Shane Vansaghi was right there making an impact. Vansaghi picked up an assist on the overtime winner as Michigan State swept the weekend series against BU. A massive statement for the program. Vansaghi's game isn't built on flash, it's built on structure. He's the kind of player who's always in the right spot, taking smart angles, doing the little things that makes life easier for line mates. He doesn't jump off the screen every night, but when you rewatch the tape, you notice how many plays start because he made the right read. He's learning how to win at Michigan State, how to adapt to higher pace, and that's going to serve him well. Long term, Vansaghi projects as a middle 6 forward, someone who can play in all situations, give you energy, and still chip in on the score sheet when it counts. Between Martone's skill and Vansaghi's detail-oriented game, the Flyers might have found a pair of college players with real chemistry and long-term potential. Both looked composed beyond their years this weekend, and both will have Flyers fans buzzing all week long. Meanwhile, another Flyers prospect was putting together his best showing of the year. Cole Knuble went off for Notre Dame on Thursday night, tallying 2 goals and an assist as the Fighting Irish rolled through St. Lawrence by scores of 8-2 and 3-0. Knuble's game is maturing in all the right ways. He's not just scoring, he's controlling play. You can see the strength in his lower body, the balance in his stride, the confidence in his shot selection. Both goals came from smart positioning, finding soft spots in coverage and letting that quick release do the work. He plays with that same kind of discipline you'd expect from a player raised in a hockey family, and it shows. He's efficient, unselfish, and has a quiet leadership presence that every team needs. When you project him going forward, you can see the shape of a reliable middle 6 winger, a guy who can help drive a line, win board battles, and still be trusted late in games. Flyers fans should love that. Now, shifting back to the Michigan State BU game, let's talk about Jack Murtagh, who continues to show smart, steady growth in his role. He picked up an assist in Friday night's loss, and while his box score doesn't jump out like Martone's, his on-ice reads do. Murtagh has a knack for timing. He knows when to pinch, when to retreat, and when to release into space. You can't teach that kind of feel. He might not wow you with end-to-end rushes or highlight reel plays, but you notice how calm he looks under pressure. He can transition the puck cleanly and support plays in all 3 zones. For Flyers fans, think of him as a glue guy prospect, someone who can quietly fill in the gaps, play responsible minutes, and complement higher-end skill around him. Every successful NHL roster has a few players like Murtagh, and he could absolutely become one of them. Now, not every weekend's going to be about points, and that's okay. Owen McLaughlin, Carter Amico, and Noah Powell were all held off the score sheet this weekend, but each is still progressing in their own way. McLaughlin continues to show flashes of elite vision. You can tell the offense is there. It's just about consistency. His puck distribution and creativity in the offensive zone give him that potential to become a true setup man down the road. Carter Amico is still early in his college career, and his defensive instincts are coming along nicely. He's playing with energy, hunting pucks, and learning to control pace instead of chasing it. Judging by this weekend, there's still a lot to learn for Carter Amico, and that's okay. As for Noah Powell, he's working his way into the college game with 15th ranked Arizona State. Through 4 games, he's picked up 1 assist, but his skating looks sharper, and his confidence on the forecheck is growing. Not every development curve looks the same, and these guys are laying the groundwork for what could be solid supporting roles in the Flyers' future system. Now for some bonus coverage, guys, let's head north of the border because the Flyers' junior prospects in Canada, they're starting to heat up too.
When you're on the ice, not a word really needs to be spoken. That was the beauty of being a Flyer.
I've played with a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, but that was the closest group of teammates I've ever played with.
In football, you need that quarterback to be special. In hockey, you need your goaltender to be special. And Pelle was just beginning to emerge as a player.
Pelle wanted so desperately to be a star in the NHL. It's what he wanted most.
Pelle Lindbergh. Thank you, Bernie.
By all accounts, Pelle was not a drinker.
He picked his spots carefully. He would drink, but to be impaired, intoxicated, very rare.
And then the next thing I know, all I seen was a white wall. I said, Pelle, there's a white wall. There's a white wall.
It was a horrific scene. The car was mangled.
The headlight in front of Pelle had to be back 3 feet from where it initially should have been.
I read an article, you almost got into the Porsche. Is that true?
Not really. Me and Murray Craven lived 3 blocks from the establishment, so we just walked home.
Catching the wall right here in this corner, it was devastating.
And he went into cardiac arrest, and CPR was started immediately.
Talked to the police. I asked him, I said, is he going to be okay? And the police officer said, he'll be lucky to live.
Police officer asked us if we had to identify a body. And I remember looking at Murray, and Murray goes, I can't do it. My gut was turning, and I didn't know what to do.
And he passed away when I was holding his hand. You know,
That moment,
yeah. And so we were destined to be a team.
Pelle, I don't blame you. I never blamed you. I wish I could take that day back. And so many people you've touched in your life miss you.
First, let's start with Jack Nesbitt, the Flyers' 2025 12th overall pick from the Windsor Spitfires. Nesbitt's game screams potential. At 6'4", he already looks like a pro. He's got a powerful base and that rare combination of touch and tenacity. He's the type of player who can run through you or around you. And he's been doing a bit of both early this season. He's putting up steady numbers, logging big minutes for Windsor, and showing leadership qualities that coaches rave about. What scouts love about Nesbitt is his puck protection, how he uses his body to shield defenders while scanning for options. Nesbitt could have first-line potential if his skating improves. You watch him and it's hard not to see flashes of a modern power forward. And then there's Matthew Gard, playing out of Red Deer in the WHL. Gard isn't going to rack up flashy stats, but he's building a complete two-way game that screams Tocchet type. He's 6'5", he wins face-off, he kills penalties, and he makes simple, effective plays that keep his team in control. Gard projects as a middle six center who can shut down opposing top lines while still chipping in offensively. He's already got nearly a point per game to start this season, which is encouraging. But what stands out most is his hockey sense. He reads plays like a veteran, adjusting on the fly, and supports his defensemen in transition. If he keeps trending this way, he could become one of the most valuable glue players in the Flyers system. And finally, we have Nathan Quinn, the 6th rounder in 2025 out of the QMJHL. This is a kid who might end up being one of those late round steals Flyers fans look back on in a few years and go, how did everyone miss this guy? He's not huge, but he can be dynamic. Quick feet, quick hands, and a brain that processes the game at a high speed. He doesn't force plays. He creates opportunities by reading space and good timing. His production's been consistent to start this year, and you can tell he's gaining confidence every game. He's one of those players who might quietly develop for 2 or 3 years, then suddenly pop when he hits pro hockey. All three of those CHL prospects, Nesbitt, Gard, and Quinn, fit a pattern. The Flyers are building a system with balance, and it's not about top-line talent. It's about versatility, hockey IQ, and compete level. When you zoom out and look at this organization as a whole, from Martone and Vansaghi at Michigan State to the Canadian kids carving out roles in Windsor, Red Deer, and the Q, you can see what Danny Briere and the front office are building. A program, a culture, players who want to earn it, not expect it. And the results are already starting to show. This isn't the Flyers of 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, thin in the pipeline and desperate for top-end skill. This is a system with layers, with internal competition, and with legitimate NHL upside developing at every level. So as we close out this week's update, it's clear. The rebuild might still be ongoing, but the future isn't as far away as it might feel. Porter Martone's proving that he's got top-line potential. Cole Knuble showing maturity and finishing ability. That'll play in the NHL. Shane Vansaghi and Jack Murtagh bring responsible, versatile depth, and the CHL group, Nesbitt, Gard, and Quinn, give this organization something it's been missing for years. Not just size, but balance. If the Flyers can keep this momentum going, and if just 2 or 3 of these guys make that jump in the next couple years, the identity of this team could completely shift. And we'll be here every step of the way. So make sure you hit that like button. Drop your thoughts on which Flyers prospect impressed you the most this weekend. And subscribe if you haven't already. Because every Monday, we're bringing you Flyers Prospect Weekly. You're home for everything happening in the Flyers development pipeline. Keep an eye out for Wednesday as we'll go over the Phantoms as well. In the meantime, don't forget to keep it high, keep it wide, and I'll see you next time on HW Hockey.